Imagine with me for a moment. Imagine a world where you are not defined by what you do, but by who you are. A world where your true essence, your imagination, and your infinite potential are what shape your reality. This is not a far-off dream, but a living truth that we often forget in our day-to-day lives. Tonight, we will explore this profound concept. Never tell people what you do. Now, you might be wondering, but Neville, isn't what we do an important part of who we are? And to that, I say, it is not what you do that defines you, but rather it is who you are that determines what you do. Your actions in this world are merely the outward expression of your inner state of being. They are the fruit, not the root. When we tell people what we do, we are often limiting ourselves to a narrow definition, a label that society has created. We say, I am a doctor, or I am a teacher, or I am a salesperson. But these labels are not you. They are roles you play in the grand theater of life. But they are not your true identity. Your true identity, my dear friends, is far grander and more magnificent than any job title or occupation could ever encapsulate. You are a divine being, a spark of the infinite consciousness that permeates all of creation. You are, in essence, God expressing itself in human form. And God, my friends, cannot be contained or defined by mere worldly occupations. When we define ourselves by what we do, we are unconsciously limiting our potential. We are saying to the universe, this is all I am. This is the extent of my being. But I tell you, you are so much more than that. You are limitless potential, boundless creativity, and infinite possibility. Consider for a moment the story of the ugly duckling. This poor creature defined itself by its appearance and its inability to fit in with the ducks. It told everyone it met, I am an ugly duckling. And so that became its reality. But when it finally realized its true nature as a beautiful swan, everything changed. Its entire world transformed because its self-concept transformed. This, my friends, is the power of self-concept. It is the power of imagination. When you change how you see yourself, you change your entire world. And this is why I urge you, never tell people what you do. Instead, tell them who you are. But who are you? You might ask. You are whatever you imagine yourself to be. You are the operant power in your world. You are the one who decides what you are and what you can become. This is the true meaning of the biblical phrase, I am that I am. When God spoke to Moses from the burning bush and Moses asked for his name, God replied, I am that I am. This, my dear friends, is the most profound truth of existence. It is the recognition that consciousness is the only reality and that consciousness can assume any form it desires. So instead of telling people what you do, tell them who you are. Say, I am creativity incarnate. Say, I am boundless potential. Say, I am the solution to problems yet unrecognized. When you speak in this way, you are not bragging or being arrogant. You are simply acknowledging the divine truth of your being. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, how can I say such things about myself? It feels like I'm being dishonest or delusional. To that I say, it is only dishonest if you believe it to be so. Remember, your imagination is the God within you. It is the creative power that shapes your reality. When you imagine yourself as boundless potential, as infinite creativity, you're not lying. You are recognizing a fundamental truth about your nature. Consider the acorn. If an acorn could speak, would it be dishonest for it to say, I'm a mighty oak tree? Of course not. For within that tiny acorn lies all the potential, all the blueprint, all the essence of the mighty oak. It simply hasn't expressed that potential yet. But that potential is there. You, my dear friends, are like that acorn. Within you lies all the potential of the universe. You are a seed of the divine, containing within you all the power and creativity of God himself. When you recognize this truth and begin to live from it, your entire world will change. This is why I say, never tell people what you do. Because what you do is simply the current expression of who you think you are. But who you truly are is far greater than any job or occupation. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of expressing yourself in countless ways. Now, let's delve deeper into this concept. When you tell people what you do, you are often reciting a story that you've been told about yourself. You're repeating a narrative that society, your parents, your teachers, or your peers have given you. But is this story really yours? Is it the highest expression of who you truly are? I urge you to question these stories. Question the labels and identities that have been thrust upon you. Ask yourself, is this who I really am? Or is this just a role I've been playing? You see, my friends, we are all actors on the stage of life. We play many roles. We employee, parent, friend, citizen. But none of these roles are our true identity. They're costumes we wear, parts we play. But beneath all these roles, beneath all these costumes, lies our true self, the I am. The I am is the pure awareness, the consciousness that observes all these roles but is not defined by any of them. It is the unchanging backdrop against which all the changes in our life take place. When you tap into this I am presence, you realize that you are not your job. You are not your relationships. You are not your possessions. You are the awareness that experiences all these things. This realization is profoundly liberating. It frees you from the limitations of your current circumstances. It allows you to see that you are not bound by your past, by your current job, or by society's expectations of you. You are free to reimagine yourself at any moment. Imagine for a moment that you're an actor who has been playing the same role for many years. You've become so identified with this role that you've forgotten. It's just a part you're playing. Then one day the director comes to you and says, we're changing your character. From now on, you'll be playing a completely different role. At first you might feel disoriented, even resistant. But this is who I am, you might protest. But then as you step into this new role, you realize something profound. You realize that you are not the character you've been playing. You are the actor who can play any role. This, my dear friends, is the truth of your existence. You are not the roles you play in life. You are the actor who can play any role you choose. You are the artist who can paint any picture you desire on the canvas of your life. So why limit yourself by telling people what you do? Why confine yourself to a single role, a single identity? Instead, tell people who you are. Tell them about your dreams, your aspirations, your vision for the future. Tell them about the person you're becoming, not just the person you've been. When you do this, you open up new possibilities. You invite the universe to see you in a new light. You give yourself permission to grow beyond your current circumstances. Remember, the word love is not objective. It is subjective. It responds not to what you do, but to who you are. Or more accurately, it responds to who you believe yourself to be. This is why two people can do the exact same job but experience completely different results. One might struggle and feel unfulfilled, while the other thrives and finds deep satisfaction. The difference is not in what they do, but in who they believe themselves to be. So I ask you, who do you believe yourself to be? Are you just your job title? Are you just your role in society? Are you something more? Are you a creator, an innovator, a force for positive change in the world? The choice is yours. You have the power to define yourself. You have the power to choose your identity. And this choice, my friends, is the most important choice you will ever make. For it is this choice that will shape your entire experience of life. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, if I don't tell people what I do, how will they know me? How will I connect with others? To this I say, when you stop defining yourself by what you do and start expressing who you truly are, you will connect with others on a much deeper level. You see, when we interact based on our job titles or social roles, we're often operating on a superficial level. We're exchanging information, but we're not truly connecting. But when we interact from our true selves, from our essence, we create the opportunity for genuine connection. Imagine meeting someone and instead of saying, I'm an accountant, you say, I'm passionate about creating order from chaos and helping people understand complex systems. Instead of saying, I'm a nurse, you say, I'm dedicated to bringing comfort and healing to those in need. Can you feel the difference? Can you sense how much more engaging and meaningful these interactions will be? When you speak from your essence, you invite others to do the same. You create a space for authentic connection, for real understanding. You allow others to see not just what you do, but who you are. And in doing so, you inspire them to look beyond their own labels and roles, to connect with their own true selves. This, my dear friends, is how we begin to transform not just our own lives, but the world around us. By refusing to be defined by what we do, by expressing our true selves, we give others permission to do the same. We create a ripple effect of authenticity and self-realization that can change the very fabric of our society. Now, I want you to take a moment and imagine a world where everyone lived from this place of authenticity. Imagine a world where people introduce themselves not by their job titles, but by their passions, their values, their visions for the future. Can you sense how much richer, how much more vibrant and alive such a world would be? This is the world we can create, my friends. And it begins with each one of us making the choice to never tell people what we do, but instead to express who we truly are. But let me be clear. This is not about denying or rejecting your current occupation. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about recognizing that what you do is just one expression of who you are, not the totality of your being. Your job, your career, your daily activities, these are all important. They are the means through which you interact with the world, through which you contribute and create value. But they are not you. They are not your identity. They're simply the current manifestation of your inner state. Think of it this way. Your true self is like the sun, and your actions in the world are like the rays of the sun. The rays are an expression of the sun, but they're not the sun itself. In the same way, what you do is an expression of who you are, but it is not your true identity. When you understand this, you free yourself from the tyranny of external definitions. You no longer need to seek validation or worth from your job title or your accomplishments. You recognize that your worth is inherent, that it comes from within. This shift in perspective is profoundly liberating. It allows you to engage in your work, in your daily activities with a new sense of freedom and joy. Because now you're not working to be someone, you're working as an expression of who you already are. Imagine approaching your work not as a means to an end, not as a way to earn money or status, but as a canvas on which to express your true self. How would that change your experience? How would it transform your relationship with your work? When you live from this place of authenticity, when you express your true self in all that you do, you infuse your actions with a new energy, a new vitality. Your work becomes not just a job, not just a means of earning a living, but a way of expressing your unique gifts and contributing to the world. And here's the beautiful thing. When you approach your work in this way, you often find that you become more successful, more effective, more impactful. Because now you're not just going through the motions. You're not just following a script or fulfilling a role. You're bringing your whole self to your work. You're infusing it with your passion, your creativity, your unique perspective. This is the power of living from your true self, of expressing who you are rather than just what you do. It not only transforms your own experience, but it also transforms the impact you have on the world around you. Now, I want to address a concern that some of you might have. You might be thinking, but Neville, in the real world, people need to know what I do. My job title is important for my career, for my professional relationships. And to this I say, yes, there are practical realities we must navigate in the world. But even within these realities, we have the power to shift our perspective and the way we present ourselves. Instead of leading with your job title, lead with your passion, your purpose, your unique contribution. When asked what you do, speak not just of your tasks and responsibilities, but of the value you create, the problems you solve, the difference you make. For example, instead of saying, I'm a software developer, you might say, I create digital solutions that make people's lives easier and more efficient. Instead of saying, I'm a teacher, you might say, I inspire young minds and help shape the future of our society. Do you see how this shifts the conversation? It moves beyond the limitations of a job title and opens up a dialogue about impact, about purpose, about the unique value you bring to the world. This approach not only allows you to express more of who you truly are, but it also makes you more memorable, more engaging. It invites deeper conversations and connections. It allows others to see you not just as a role or a function, but as a unique individual with passions, values, and aspirations. When you present yourself in this way, you're not just changing how others see you, you're changing how you see yourself. You're reinforcing your own understanding of your true identity, your true worth. Remember, my dear friends, your self-concept is everything. It is the foundation upon which your entire life experience is built. When you see yourself as more than your job, when you recognize your inherent worth and limitless potential, you open yourself up to new possibilities, new opportunities. This is why I say, never tell people what you do. Because in doing so, you remind yourself of who you truly are. You affirm your true identity as a being of infinite potential, as a unique expression of the divine. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. How often do you define yourself by what you do? How often do you introduce yourself with your job title or your role? And how does this impact your sense of self, your sense of possibility? Imagine for a moment how your life might change if you began to see yourself not as your job title, but as a unique expression of divine creativity. How would it change your interactions with others? How would it change your approach to your work? How would it change your sense of what's possible for you? This, my friends, is the transformative power of shifting your self-concept. When you change how you see yourself, you change your entire world. Because the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state of being. This is not mere philosophy or positive thinking. This is the fundamental truth of existence. Your consciousness, your awareness, your self-concept. This is the creative power that shapes your reality. When you truly understand and embody this truth, you hold in your hands the key to transforming your entire life experience. So I challenge you from this day forward to never tell people what you do. Instead, tell them who you are. Express your passions, your values, your vision for the world. Speak of the unique gifts you bring, the value you create, the difference you make, and most importantly, remind yourself daily of your true identity. Remind yourself that you're not your job, not your role, not your possessions or accomplishments. You are a divine being, a unique expression of infinite consciousness. You are limitless potential, boundless creativity, pure awareness expressing itself in human form. When you live from this understanding, when you express this truth in all that you do, you become a powerful force for transformation in the world. You inspire others to recognize their own divine nature, to express their own unique gifts. You become a living example of what's possible when we step beyond the limitations of societal labels and roles. This, my dear friends, is your true calling. Not to simply do a job or fulfill a role, but to express your divine nature, to bring more light, more love, more creativity into the world. This is why you are here. This is your purpose. So go forth from this place with a new understanding of who you are. Go forth with the knowledge that you are so much more than what you do. You are a miraculous being, capable of creating miracles in your life and in the world around you. Never again allow yourself to be defined by your job title or your role. Never again limit yourself to the narrow confines of societal expectations. Instead, live from the truth of your being. Express your divine nature in all that you do. Be a living example of what's possible when we recognize our true identity. Remember, the world is waiting for you. Not for what you do, but for who you are. The world is waiting for your unique gifts, your unique perspective, your unique expression of the divine. So don't hold back. Don't hide behind labels or roles. Step forward in the fullness of who you truly are.
Incorporate rhythmic bass lines and gentle drumming to establish a groove, while adding horns and strings to enhance the depths and richness of the sound. focus on crafting a relatable and uplifting message that resonates with listeners, inviting them into an intimate and warm musical experience. Incorporate with a relaxed yet engaging rhythm. Take me there, take me where it all begins. Met you by the riverside, the city lights dim. You had that look, like you knew where I'd been. You asked me who's in your heart tonight, but I smiled back, staying out of sight. You're my anchor, my flame, lighting up shadows, calling my name. But every glance has its cost. In this game, someone's bound to get lost. I'm treading water in my own eyes. Told you I'd be better, but I still hide a tangled heart, a twisted mind. I'm here for now, but gone in time. In a crowded room, he's pulling me close, but your memory lingers like a ghost. Whiskey glasses and smoky air. I try to forget, but you're everywhere. You'd ask me to stay, see things through, but I'm running from me, not just